Hey there everybody, my name is Paul. I'm from Germany. You might have already noticed my German accent. Anyway, on this channel I'm focusing on tech reviews as well as filmmaking, so if you are interested in that, consider subscribe. In today's video I'm gonna make a review of the Sigma 30mm prime lens. It's available for Micro Four Thirds and also for Sony, I guess. I think overall the build quality of this lens is just very good. There's nothing very special on this lens. As you can see right here, we have the body, we have a pretty large zoom ring, we have the lens hood, which is really good, and overall it feels a little bit heavy compared to other Micro Four Thirds lenses, especially prime lenses. But anyway, it's really great build quality. I think it's from the contemporary lens, contemporary series other than the art series of Sigma. And I already can tell you that I really love this big smooth focus ring here. So manually focusing on this lens works really great. I just know one other lens that is nearly as great as that, and that's the Sigma 18 to 35mm, so also a Sigma lens. So yeah, you can definitely say that I love Sigma lenses. The focal length of this lens is calculated to a full frame sensor, and 30mm full frame sensor means to Micro Four Thirds, which is half sensor size, 60mm. So we have like 50-60mm really shallow depth of field, which makes it really great for, let's say, interviews and all that kinds of stuff. And yeah, let's have a look on the lens. So now I'm using the Sigma 30mm lens, and you already can tell the difference by the focal length. Before I used the ultra wide 14mm lens, and now I'm using the equivalent 60mm, so really close and shallow depth of field. But overall, what I think about this lens, and mainly I use it for recording interviews or also for some B-roll stuff sometimes. And for interviews, I found it's really great. Sharpness, details is just overall perfect. As I've already said, manually focusing is very good, and really shallow depth of field. And over the shoulder looks really great on this lens. So I either used the 25mm or this 30mm lens. So the one from Panasonic is also very good. This one costs around 300 bucks, but I really think it's worth the money. The image quality overall is really good. And talking about the sharpness, I think overall, so at f4 we have the sweet spot, I would say. So here the lens is the sharpest spot overall. If we go more down, we lose a little bit of sharpness, but that's the same like with every other lens. And I think even if 1.4 or f1.8, it's really acceptable. Sharpness is really good, so no complaint about that. And also the sharpness on the sides is really okay, I think. Sure, we lose a little bit sharpness to the sides, but I think overall, even at 1.4 and even at f4, the sharpness is really good and really acceptable. It really makes this lens also really good for low light. So f1.4 for 300 bucks is really good. Talking about the compatibility, I use it with Panasonic lenses, and I can say also autofocus works quite okay. You know, with the Panasonic cameras, it's also a little bit tricky. But also if I'm filming myself and I'm just using the app to record myself, everything works just fine. No issues with that. Camera, the lens connects totally fine to the camera. I have control about everything, f-stop, focusing and all that stuff. So there's no issue about that. But are there some things that I don't like about this lens? Yeah, just a few minor complaints. I think it's a little bit more heavy than like most of the other Micro Four Thirds lenses, especially compared to the 25mm lens. But I think overall that's totally okay. Also the build quality is much better as the normal Micro Four Thirds lenses, so therefore it's not really a disadvantage, I would say. Other than that, I have no really complaint about this lens. Also for 300 bucks, it's really good. And if you compare to all the other lenses that are out there for Micro Four Thirds, they are really expensive. And this one also, since Sigma entered the Micro Four Thirds market, we have really high quality glass for a really acceptable price. So if you are looking for a lens with shallow depth of field and also for recording interviews and all that kind of stuff and low light capability, I highly can recommend you the Sigma lens. And yeah, if you have some further questions, if you want to see more about, like, let's say my color grading or tutorials, just write me here down below and also tell me what do you think about this lens. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did so, please hit the thumbs up button below and I see you guys in my very next video. Cheers!